You are listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hellgate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Monday the 6th of January, 2025. It is 16 days after the winter solstice. It is 73 days before the spring equinox. By the French Republican calendar, it is the 17th day of Nivose, the day of Marne, of Marl. The sun rises today at 7:20 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 12:01 p.m. The sun sets today at 4:44 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 5:14 p.m. Nautical twilight ends at 5:49 p.m. The length of daytime today is 1 minute, 1 second longer than yesterday. Today, the moon arrives at its first quarter at 6:57 p.m. The full moon will arrive on Monday, the 13th of January. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the wee hours, high tide, 2:54 a.m., 1 meter 40. In the morning, low tide, 9:06 a.m., 0 centimeters. In the afternoon, high tide, 3:15 p.m., 1 meter 25. At night, low tide, 9:25 p.m., minus 12 centimeters. The New York City Reservoir Report for Monday. In the Delaware watershed, the Cannonsville Reservoir is 69% full. The Papacton Reservoir is 75% full. The Neversink Reservoir is 61% full. The Rondout Reservoir is 91% full. In the Catskill watershed, the Schoharie Reservoir is 86% full. The Ashokan Reservoir is 78% full. In the Croton system, just north of the city, the reservoirs are 81% full. In our shared realm of plants and animals, strangely, the number of pigeons living in New York City is unknown. Estimates range from 500,000 to 9 million, which means we have no idea how many of these iconic birds share the city with us. Commemorations. On this day in 1721, a report was released detailing the financial misdeeds of the British South Sea Company and of the politicians who had acted corruptly in its rise and collapse. The joint stock company had been chartered as a public-private partnership, but it never made a profit. Speculation in its stocks, however, reached a fever pitch until the South Sea bubble burst, and many lost all their savings. A salutary reminder from history of the risks of irresponsible speculation and irrational exuberance. On this day in 1907, Maria Montessori opened her first school and daycare center for working-class children in Rome. Her educational methods, using practical play and emphasizing children's natural curiosity, proved transformative. On this day in 1941, Franklin Delano Roosevelt delivered his famous Four Freedoms speech. He outlined these as basic rights all should enjoy: freedom of speech and expression, freedom of worship, freedom from want, and freedom from fear. On this day in 1974, the United States implemented daylight savings time year-round. A response to the oil crisis of the early 1970s, it proved vastly unpopular and was eventually repealed, a model to contemplate as we debate abandoning changing our clocks twice each year. A solemn anniversary. 4 years ago today, a large mob broke into the Capitol building in Washington, forcing the Congress to flee their chambers. They ransacked offices and called for the murder of the vice president. Although this beer hall putsch was ultimately unsuccessful, it stands as a salutary warning of the fragility of any democracy. Finally, alternate side of the street parking is suspended today in honor of Three Kings Day. And that is the Observatory, Monday the 6th of January, 2025.